Dana White just announced a new UFC 300 fight. It's not Conor McGregor. It's not John Jones. It's...
All right, guys, here's another announcement for UFC 300. Holly Holm.
Holly Holm is on UFC 300. Is this some kind of a sick joke, Dana White? Holly Holm? And I love the way he said it too.
Holly Holm.
With this confident smirk as to reassure us that everything's okay. UFC 300's in good hands. Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison. Whoa. Kayla Harrison. Whoa. Whoa, really bringing out the big ones here. Are you fucking kidding me? Nerve of Dana White to put Holly Holm on UFC 300 and a can crusher in, I don't even, what's her name? Kayla. Whoa, Kayla Harrison. Wow, how special. We're just blessed to be in her presence because she has those gold medals that no one gives a fuck about because there's a total of 15 people competing in that division. Jesus. Holly Holm, one of the most boring fighters in the UFC. I don't give a damn if she head kicked Ronda Rousey 30 years ago. All right? That's in the past. I know that there are going to be some people telling me that, oh, she comes out there to scrap. She's bad to the bone. No, she's not. She goes out there and clinches for 15 minutes. Her fights fucking suck. And I'm not exaggerating. Kayla Harrison, she got beat last year. She lost to what's her name? I'm looking at her record because I don't even know the name of the person that beat her. Larissa Pacheco, whatever the fuck her name is. Basically, the Walmart version of Jessica Andrade is the one that's beating up Kayla Harrison in the PFL. Roided up Kayla Harrison. Aspen Ladd was, whoa, we're really pulling out all the stops with this one. She's coming off of a win over Aspen Ladd. Woohoo! Damn, what an amazing win. Oh my gosh, this fucking pisses me off. Just wait till they try to frickin', come up with a good argument to defend Dana on this one. Holly Holm on UFC 300 is an absolute disgrace. Just as I was starting to warm up to the card too, I was starting to get a little bit comfortable with Max Holloway's fate. Meaning he's going to get destroyed by Gagey. The fight's on. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do to save Max. It's going to happen. Zhang Wei Li versus Yan Jiaonan was bad enough. Again, save the formal matchups from 301 all the way up until 399. Let these once-in-a-decade cards be special. I don't want to see Kayla Harrison on 300. She hasn't earned that right. She hasn't fought in the UFC. She's even boring in the PFL. And she's not even the best in the PFL. Again, who is she lose? I don't even know the name of the person she's losing to. She was a bum. She was a can. And yet her beating Holly Holm is supposed to impress us? Holly Holm got beat up by Mario Bueno Silva, who just lost to Raquel Pennington. I mean, give me a fucking break. This fight sucks. It shouldn't be on UFC 300. I don't want to see it. Just another example of the UFC just shitting something out there to fill a status quo. That's all this fight is. Can you really imagine someone looking at this card and getting excited for Holly Holm and whatever her name is, Mrs. Harrison? I can't. Is this going to add any sales? No. Is it going to add any excitement? No. Because people that actually watch the sport know that Holm is boring. As I said, all she does is clinch up against the fence for 15 minutes. She's in her 40s now, and she probably doesn't want to take a lot of damage, so that's why she goes about her fights that way. But, we're not back in 2013, 2012. We're not in that era anymore. This is like bringing BJ Penn back because he had a couple of good wins back in the day, or quite a bunch, but you get my point. What are we going to do next? We're pulling out Randy Couture. We're going to get Randy Couture to step in the octagon because he had a couple of good performances back in the day. Is that what we're going to do? Rampage Jackson, you may as well bring him back as well. Bring in Rampage Jackson versus one of these ONE FC champs. Man, god damn it. This fight sucks. This card, I've been saying it from the start, is going to be a letdown, and it already is. There's no excuse There's no excuse for this nonsense. I don't care if they put on a great fight after it. If Dana White announces something special next. This is a shit stain on UFC 300. Get it off the card. Off the card you go. The casual fans are not going to be tuning in because of this. So if you're going to sit here and try to make the argument that Holm's going to bring in the casuals, stop. There's no argument for why this should be on UFC 300. Holly Holm, massive respect to her. She's a UFC legend. She's boring. I'm just going to say it how it is. I don't want to see her fight, period. I don't want to see Holly Holm fight at all. I didn't even watch her main event with Mario Silva because I wanted to go to bed. This is what I'm trying to get at right now. I don't want to see Holm fight, UFC 300 or not. And I certainly don't want to see, what's her name? Freaking Kayla Harrison come to the UFC. I mean, it is what it is. I'd like to see Kayla Harrison versus Juliana Pena. That's the fight you're going to make. At least, all right, now there's going to be a buildup. Now that I'm bringing that matchup up, what is the UFC doing? Juliana Pena versus, I keep forgetting her name. I mean, do you see me right now? I don't even know her name. Kayla Harrison. Totally cringe, by the way. I mean, again, she won a gold medal where there's 15 people in that division. Oh my gosh. At least make her fight someone that's relevant, that's going to talk shit, that's going to sell the fight, that's going to create cringy, but, moments that you're just going to have to watch just because they're there. I know people don't like Juliana Pena, but she will sell the fight. Kayla Harrison has a big ego. She's an Olympic level athlete. Of course she does. She's going to go back and forth with Juliana Pena. That's what they should have done, which is just more of the same. What do you know? The UFC making a matchup that could have been 10 times better. First of all, the matchup shouldn't be made to begin with. But if you're going to make a Kayla Harrison matchup, do it the right way. Put her in there with Amanda Nunes, the return of Nunes. And Kayla Harrison, I mean, that would be on the main card, so maybe not make that. Fuck it. If I was in the UFC, I'd put that on the Dana White Contender Series. But either way, at least do Pena versus Kayla Harrison. What are you doing with Holly Holm? Dana White flexing the takedown defense. The fourth best takedown defense. And man, be quiet with that nonsense. As if we're going to freak out about Holly Holm's takedown defense and all the phenomenal wrestlers that she's fought. She's tough takedowns from Yoel Romero. Just stop bullshitting around. This fight blows. You know it. I know it. I'm not excited for it. Diego Lopez and Sadiq Youssef is rumored to be on UFC 300. Now, that's a good fight. I like that one. It's a perfect bump up in competition for Diego Lopez. It's a much tougher matchup than the one he had last. Sadiq Youssef actually does have decent takedown defense. But this just hogs up a spot. Again, you add Kayla Harrison and Holly Holm, that makes it impossible to add that Cyril Gane and Sergey Pavlovich fight. Or that Whitaker and Usman fight that will inevitably have to be made and booked for a future card when Big Paulo Costa pulls out, because that's what he does best. You get my point. This just hogs a spot. Boot it off the card now. Or just take Holly Holm off and put Juliana Pena in there just so that we can have a fun moment at the press conference. And you know what? The UFC 300 press conference better be an hour long. I don't want to see any of this 15-minute bullshit. Every single fighter on the card should be there unless they're not going to add anything to the press conference. Okay? If you're going to have a couple of trash talkers there, make it an hour. Not 30 minutes, not 20 minutes. Hey, last question. Screw that. An hour long. Unless it's just a bunch of Gagey and Holloway type of matchups where they're not going to talk a lot of shit, then do whatever you want. But my point is, if they made Pena and Kayla Harrison, let us watch them talk some shit, even though it's going to be a little bit cringy. Just give us something, man. This was not a good fight. What are you doing? Are you trying to kill the company? Are you trying to turn people away? Jesus. What is this going to be on the main card next? Now, main card. Main card opener. Man, fuck off. Of course, people are going to defend this. Relax, it's just one fight. Yeah, it's one shit fight that shouldn't be on the card to begin with, and I'm freaking pissed off about it. My goodness. What a pathetic, sick joke. Get rid of this fucking fight. I love that Dana White had the nerve to hop on Instagram and announce that. It's time to oil him up. Oil him up. That's what we're doing next time we see Dana White make an announcement. Until next time. Oh, God damn it. I hate this fight.